What's going on? Philip Edge, Rome Elite Sports, coming to you with another in-zone to in-zone shot. Today, we have none other than Coach Hurst from the Pepperell Dragons. Pepperell looking forward to having a phenomenal year this year. And, Coach, you ready to go in-zone to in-zone with me?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. So, Coach, before we even really get into anything, I want you to tell the people a little bit about you. Who are you, Coach? Where are you from?
Well, my name is Rick Hurst. I grew up in Dade County, Georgia, just in northwest Georgia. And spent the last 22 years as a high school football coach and biology teacher.
Okay.
And so this is my first year at Pepperell High School. Glad to be back up in northwest Georgia.
I love it, Coach. So let me ask you this. When you're speaking of Pepperell, northwest Georgia, tell us a little bit about your coaching background, Coach. Where have you coached at?
I started at Americus High School down in Americus, Georgia, back in '93. And then my most recent stop, I was at Eastside High School in Covington as a head coach for 10 years.
Okay. Well, so, Coach, you've been around a little bit.
Yeah.
What intrigues you about northwest Georgia, specifically about this Pepperell High School job?
You always circle places on the map when you, as a head coach, of places you'd like to go one day if the opportunity came. And, the Pepperell job opened. I jumped on it very quickly. And me and Mr. Ray hit it off very quickly. It was... It happened overnight, and so here we are. But no, I'm really glad to be here, and the tradition of being here, and what obviously Coach Honeycutt established back in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
I'm not Coach Honeycutt, but
right.
I would like to get us back to that type of program where people understand when you come in here, especially home against us at home, you're probably going to go away with a loss, or you're going to be played really hard.
Yeah. Well, let's transition then just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what you're trying to implement here at Pepperell.
Well, what I want to do is just get this program back to where it was. And you got a proud community here, and a proud community that really believes in this program. And we got to get stronger. We got to get stronger in the weight room, and that kind of bleeds over onto the field with confidence and all that. And once we establish that and get that going again, I think that then it becomes not easy, but it becomes a better transition in terms of wins and losses.
I love it. You heard that. The weight room getting bigger, getting faster, getting stronger. Those are the foundations of a football program. You heard that. So Coach, let me ask you this. Thinking about your team this year, tell us a little bit about what you think we can expect from the Pepperell Dragons.
Well, I think you're going to see a little more of an exciting brand of football.
Okay.
We're going to be a no-huddle spread team that likes to throw it around a little bit. We're not going to, but honestly, I like to run out of the spread.
Yeah.
Because it does open up a lot of running lanes, and with Devin Collins back there and Tay Hammond, you got guys that can take it to the house. When you limit the guys that are in the box. So
that's right.
I'm hoping that we can put together a team that can be balanced, throwing and passing.
Right.
But also a team that plays very good defense.
I love it.
We got to be able to stop the run and play well on that side of the ball. And I'm really excited about our special teams. I think we got a freshman that probably, maybe in 23 years, I've never seen a freshman do the way he does.
Wow. So Coach, now, you mentioned a couple players, and there's one particular that we call Mr. 485. I mean, we won't say any more than that, but we call him Mr. 485. Tell us about Devin Collins, his progression, what you see out of him for this year.
I can't, every time somebody mentions his name, I smile. He's a great kid.
Yeah.
I think he's a better kid than he is a football player.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
If that's to be expected, but he's such a humble kid.
Yeah.
And it's hard to, with what he's done and where he's going. I think it's amazing that he's able to be humble. But what I've seen from him in spring practice and fall practice is he's very unselfish.
Yes.
And he blocks for his teammates. He pulls for his teammates, and that makes him a better player.
Absolutely.
All around.
Absolutely. Can you share with us some of your other players who are having a great spring, great summer, getting ready to go into the season?
Well, we have a transfer from Creekview High School by the name of Parker Gailey. He's going to be a senior, plays defensive back and wide receiver. Parker's just he's got a knack for the football. He's a playmaker, great kid, very intelligent. We move him all over the place. He's going to touch the ball quite a bit on the offense, but defensively, he's our quarterback back there. He sets our coverages. Very physical kid, likes to come up and hit you in the mouth, and that's what you want as a free safety. Zach Diggs, our starting middle linebacker, has had an excellent summer. I just can't say enough about him. He's going to be a senior as well, and he's really been a leader, not so much vocally, but just what he does. Offensively, on the offensive side, I think you're going to see Tay Hammond touch the ball a lot.
Okay.
Hunter Chastain's had a good offseason. And then right now our starting quarterback looks like it's going to be Trevor Thomas, going to be a sophomore.
When you're looking at your team, what's one word that you could use to describe this year's team?
Hardworking.
Okay.
I mean, they've bought into everything I've brought in terms of work ethic.
Now, Coach, every time we do this end zone to end zone with coaches, we got to give them some questions that they probably don't expect, okay? So now it's your turn, okay?
Right.
So, Coach, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue. All right, you had to think about it, right? Favorite food, Coach?
Oh, steak, no doubt about it.
Steak. You know what? I think I'm like, every coach I talk to says steak. So there's like a theme going on here. There's a theme going on. Okay, you ready? If you could be any superhero, who would you be?
Captain America.
See, this is the first Captain America now. Why Captain America?
Because he's just everyday Joe, but then he's got all these powers, so you don't have to get in some special suit. You just got them all the time.
I love it. I love it. One more question, Coach. One more question. If you had one saying that you say all the time that your players will probably get tired of hearing you say it, but in 20 years they'll probably be saying it, what would that saying be?
This year's all in.
All in.
I mean, that's what I said from the day that I was hired, is everybody in this community, not just our players, our coaches, our fans, everybody's got to be all in. No matter what you're asked to do, even if you're not asked, if you want this program to be back at the top, you've got to put everything into it. And that's community, parents, coaches, players, everything, and everybody has to buy in. Totally, all in.
I love it. I love it. You heard it here first. We're here with Coach Hurst. He said all in. The question is, are you ready to be all in this year with your Pepperell Dragons? Philip Edge, end zone to end zone, Rome Elite Sports.